Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here. Today, under the bridge downtown is where I'm starting this vlog. I'm doing a little rockin' because I am in Little Rock. See what I did there? It's my second channel, daily vlog channel. It all started with that little rock. No kidding. It's the Daily Woo.
This was the very first rock seen by French explorer Bernard de la Harpe on his voyage from the mouth of the Mississippi in 1722.
Ooh, it is a cold, crisp 37 degrees. I like it.
My favorite type of weather is definitely hoodie weather. And I want to check out a piece of history in this cemetery, but I don't think my RV will fit through there.
Should be able to get in this way, hopefully.
Well, maybe not. Maybe not.
Fail. I parked way around the backside. Thought maybe I could take a shortcut, but gotta go back to that front gate.
The way this cemetery is set up is there are unpaved, only walkable grass rows, almost like streets. They have their own names. That one is Maple, and the one I'm looking for is right here, Elm Street. Seems to be a lot of those in this neck of the woods, Texas and Arkansas. A lot of Elm Streets, even though this technically isn't a street, it's just a row. And I think this might be it. This pillar. Here lies the remains of David O. Dodd, better known as the Arkansas boy martyr of the Confederacy. His final resting place, right there.
On January 8th, 1864, he was put to death for being a spy, and his body was placed there. For nearly half a century, it was in an unmarked grave. Until 1913, the Daughters of the Confederacy built that monument for him.
But the interesting footnote about this is, he wasn't even of legal age yet. He was only 17.
Which doesn't really constitute childhood by any means, but definitely not full-fledged adulthood. I am not the same person I was when I was 17.
And for that reason, he has been given the eternal name, the boy martyr of the Confederacy. Just about a mile down the road is where that very horrific event took place.
It is said that over 6,000 people showed up to watch it, even though it was freezing cold outside and the Arkansas River was completely frozen over. People wanted to see it happen. I don't know if I could watch that personally.
That's him. And that's the spot. Right there.
There are no photographs of the account, but it is said that he was sitting on top of his casket being led like a procession to the spot, and he had to supply his own blindfold. They didn't even give him a blindfold, so he brought his own. That's crazy.
Nothing really growing this time of year in these planters, but check this out. This was also the spot of the first human dissection in Arkansas, November 1874.
Random but interesting piece of medical history right there.
Oh, downtown Little Rock, did you ever think that you would grow from a tiny pebble or a boulder? Well, I guess it's neither of those things. This guy's peeing over there. Oh, Little Rock, you don't disappoint. You might remember a sitcom in the mid to late 80s through the early 90s called Designing Women that was based around Atlanta, Georgia. Spoiler alert, it wasn't in Atlanta. In fact, the cast of characters that included Delta Burke, Annie Potts, and even Jan Hooks, that's right, the same lady that disappointed Pee-wee that there was no basement at the Alamo. Their base of operations was right here.
Yeah, they did not film inside. They only used the exteriors, but this is it. And if you own the DVD sets, their faces can be seen photoshopped above this facade. True story.
With its wrought iron fence, its elegant porch, and mysteriously beautiful windows. This is a pretty awesome house, built in 1881. Not really sure what's going on here, if there is some purposeful symbolism behind this or just an accident that happened on its own. This is around the back side of the house, the angle you don't see on television, behind the scenes.
This is pretty cool. And if you listen very closely, you might be able to hear the faint sounds of Ray Charles inside there on his piano with the cast sitting next to him. Georgia, oh Georgia, Georgia on my mind. Or Little Rock.
About to go up something called Snake Hill. Should be interesting. I see where it gets its name though. I definitely see where it gets its name. Man, this is very steep. This is really steep. We talked about television, TV show history. Now let's delve into a little movie history. One of the greatest and most majestic films of all time, something right up here along this waterway stands. In fact, the last remaining tidbit screen used from that film is located right up here.
I should rephrase that a little bit. There are props as far as clothing and things that were shown in rooms from the film that are in museums all around. This I'm referring to is a structure, a building, the last remaining one from a 1939 classic, Gone with the Wind.
On a side note, that bridge is pretty wild looking. No one really knows for sure why the producers, set designers, and location scouts chose this old mill, but they did.
And the rest is history, movie history, epic movie history.
Now it can only be seen for a very short duration at the beginning of the film during the credit sequence, but it is amazing the fact that this still exists. You can walk through it, you can touch it, you can take pictures of it. This is the only remaining building from Gone with the Wind. My mind is slightly blown right now. Okay, it's happening right now. It's happening. I am going to go inside the old mill. The date stamp on the side, a carving says 1832 is when it was originally constructed. That famous wheel down there. Wow, look at this pulley that a rope used to be hanging from. Let's go into the nether regions. I'm just sitting here watching the wheel go round and round, and the water likes to flow. I'm up on the second floor now. It's been redone, been repurposed, and stronger structures have been built because of the amount of tourists that come out here. You have to make it structurally sound. This is pretty freaking cool. People have also written their names along the roof and the headboards. I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't think it's allowed. Sometimes I will place my name in locations when there's a sign designating that it's not frowned upon. But I don't think you're supposed to do that. The side you don't see on screen, around the back, is a beautiful little park that they have built around the property as well. If you get the hankering, in fact, you can sit next to these mushrooms. These are some large mushrooms. I don't think, no, they're not real. They're made out of some sort of concrete material, as is these what appear to be wooden bridges. But don't be fooled. These are not made out of wood. That is also a concrete-esque type material bridge. Not a Todd bridge, not a Jeff bridge, not even a Bow bridge, but a heavily constructed bridge that will not decay. That's kind of difficult to whistle. Okay, that's really tough. I wonder if these two fowl have ever been given the names Scarlet and Rhett. Probably not the first person who have suggested that. He's looking at me though. Rhett, who I've so named, was just staring at me. He went back to his business of scratching. He doesn't care what I'm saying. He's basically thinking, frankly, Adam the Woo, I don't give a, you know, you can finish the rest. One last view looking downward. That was pretty cool. I gotta admit, that was pretty cool. Gonna stop off at this Best Buy, see if they have the tripod I always use that I always lose. The last few stores haven't had them. I don't know what the deal is, but hopefully they're not discontinued. And it doesn't appear like they have it here either. If I stepped it up a notch, started driving that around, would you still love me? The search for that tripod is a real conundrum. It's a regional thing. Some Best Buys don't carry it. This one didn't have it. But there's another one 10 or 15 miles from here that supposedly has 4 in stock. Should I take a chance and drive over there? Yeah, heck it, let's do it. There's the state capitol. Signal ahead, freeway ends. Is there a traffic signal ahead, or am I supposed to leave a signal, like wave and make a signal that the freeway's ending? It's very confusing. All right, let's give this one a shot. Well, Bucky and Bat Boy, I don't think I'll be running out of tripods for a while. Since they're nearly impossible to find in some areas in the store, I went ahead and got all they had. And thumbs up for internet price matching. This eventful day has left me with quite an appetite. I'll go in Whole Foods and try to find something to eat. I never knew what the king of cheeses looked like. Looks like a pretty nice guy. Some tortellini in there, some vegetables, some salad, and some peas. These are called Peas Please. This is good. I feel like my body has been missing this in recent time periods. Much needed, to say the least. Oh, that is good. A little foliage in your life never hurt anyone. See you guys tomorrow. Vlog over. Oh, you're still in there. Dang it, I screwed it up.